Hey, is this Pete?
Yeah,
Pete, this is Dan McDonald, the Life Regenerator.
hey, what's going on, man?
I just checking your email. I thought I'd give you a call, man, and you said you thought it'd be a good idea to make a video about this, so that's exactly what I'm doing right now.
That's very cool. That's super cool. I never thought you would ever come back to me in a phone call. It's pretty special, dude.
Oh, right on, Pete. Well, it sounds like you really want to make something good happen. And what I'll do is just give everyone a little tiny background here about a couple of heart attacks, and now you're trying to bounce back.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. You can say Pete or whatever. I don't care. Don't use my last name anyway.
Okay, cool. So are you changing the diet? Have you got on that yet?
Yeah, actually, well, I've been leaning that way. I've been watching you for a while. And today I went to Whole Foods and bought a bunch of kale and, your green juice stuff, I've been doing that for a while too. I got my omega juicer and got, cucumbers and kale and dill and cilantro and, celery, lemons, all that stuff. So, yeah, I might be doing that. I just want to know if you have investigated, the ED and stuff like that.
Yeah, the ED, that's important. Obviously, like you said, you already know in this, the ED is the beginning of the circulatory issues.
Right.
And for anyone who doesn't know, that's erectile dysfunction. And what that is that's really the smaller blood vessels and capillaries begin to get clogged with saturated fats and oils and starchy carbohydrates, mucus basically, like food residue from the wrong types and too much food. Also, stress is a contributing factor as well. So in order to so when you start to begin to have the ED, the erectile dysfunction, you can begin to imagine what's going on in your heart. Now, the blood vessels in the heart, they've got some protective mechanisms in there that obviously you're going to have erectile dysfunction, because in health what happens is the less important things go first. Your body has all these systems in place, so obviously if you can't get an erection, that's not as big a deal as if your heart stops beating, So that's one of the telltale signs right there. And so obviously you know that, but I'm giving a little background for the viewer here who may want to know. Now, what you're...
I think that it's a really good idea for you to, you have so many viewers that you need to tell these guys that, hey man, if you're having some problems with this, you need to go to a cardiologist, you know what I mean? Because it's related for sure.
Well, even in, as far as going to the cardiologist, I mean, everybody should be eating fresh, wholesome foods. Now, obviously in our society, we're not doing that because there's lies, there's the old, it's all designed to manipulate your physiological drives, your biological proclivities, and then they add flavorants and colorants and advertisements, and then there's all this socialism around food, and nobody's eating anymore for the original reason, which was to give you life, energy, and health. And now it's more about entertainment, titillation, sensual pleasure. And like I said in the last video, when you eat the king's food, you can be rest assured that you will experience the king's diseases. And that's exactly what erectile dysfunction is, heart attacks, coronary artery disease, and whatnot. So really, it's the same thing I say with every other single thing. In these cases, it's generally a clogging of the blood veins and capillaries with fats, cholesterol, and inflammation, really, is what it is. And so, in this case, it's pretty easy to turn it around. Were you eating a lot of fatty foods?
Oh yeah, I was eating like crap.
Okay, so how long have you been doing raw?
I haven't been like totally raw, but it's like tons of vegetables, hardly any meat. If I eat any meat, it's like a little bit of chicken, and good chicken, like the new cold chilled chicken. That doesn't go through all the weird processing and go into a vat of crap and stuff like that. Hardly any beef. Probably I don't know, a couple of months probably, and some slips here and there, but now I'm like really on track where I'm gonna do this, and see if I see a difference in
Okay.
and sexuality and ED and all that stuff, to see if it makes a difference. Plus it'll keep me alive for my 9-year-old son and stuff. I gotta do that. I'm gonna be on my own, so he's all I have.
Yeah, so you've got to bounce back, and so obviously, I'm going to tell you that a vegetarian diet is going to help you probably more than anything else in this case. The cooked meat is very hard on the heart, and it's not just physiologically, but it's also spiritually as well. Everything correlates, and so when we eat our fellow creatures, that is not a very loving act, and so the heart chakra will be affected, and that will manifest itself as these heart issues. So you're going to want to really focus on a vegetarian diet. That's one sure, quick way to bring the circulation back to the reproductive organs, as well as start to clear the occlusions from the heart. So most definitely continue to work your way to a vegetarian diet. That'll be one of the biggest things that you do, because it's not always what we do that really helps us with our health, but it's what we don't do. It's all the things that we don't do that really help us. When we give up the drinking and when we give up the smoking, which it sounds like you do a little of that, which sometimes is caused by is the result of a vitamin B deficiency. So when we eat healthier, the raw foods, or mostly raw, I understand that it's going to be hard for people to get all the way over to the raw, but you've got to think that every living creature eats raw. Raw is the way of life, and the raw food is very special with the fiber, which the raw fiber in the fruits and vegetables keeps the colon clear and also keeps the blood vessels clear. And that's what you're going to want. So I don't know what your percentage of raw is, but you're going to want to up it if you want to up your game and get your circulation back and stay on the planet.
Right. Yeah, and I have one doctor, only one, not my cardiologist. My cardiologist is a vegetarian, and he eats, he's all vegetarian, and he eats a little bit of cheese, because he says, I love cheese and I can't get away from it, but I'm vegetarian with some cheese. But I had another female doctor that said, you can reverse this, and I've never had a doctor say that ever, in this whole thing in the last 5 years, that says you can reverse this by changing your diet and exercise and becoming vegetarian, and as a really, when you get to that point what my wife said really hit home. She says, you're so, and you can use that, you're so busy dying that you stop living, and that's a great strap line, it's like, wow, and I even told her, I said, that is so home and it's so true, that when you have something happen, you start going, well, okay, I'm done, I blew it, I didn't eat right, and I did all these bad things to myself, and now I'm done, but I've had two chances, and I'm still alive, and I'm still pretty physically, able to do everything. I can ride a bike and do all that stuff, so I can't ignore those blessings, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you're lucky that you can still, stay active and stuff like that. And now that you're going to change the diet, you're going to see some major improvements. The cleaner that you eat, the faster you're going to see results. And even, I mean, that's why if I was you, I would eat a total raw food diet. You know, maybe some steamed vegetables or something every once in a while. Those are pretty clean. But for the most part, you want to eat fresh fruit to start breaking up the toxic occlusions, and the vegetable juices. Those are going to be your two main foods. And every time you go to eat, you should try to see if you can make fruit a meal for yourself, or a big jar or two of green juice, depending on how big you are, your size and stuff, you know.
Right.
But it's the same old thing. It's like the food that we eat these days just clogs everybody up, leaves behind incredible amounts of metabolic waste, and it can really depress the mind. And then when the mind is depressed, all the other stresses come in, and everything just goes downhill. If you want to go uphill, you got to follow the law of energy and life. And so the cells in your body will regenerate themselves, because they always are. The difference, the issue is, though, is that people aren't willing to change their lifestyle habits. And so without the changing of the lifestyle habits, it's impossible to change your destiny. But if you change your lifestyle habits and you start supporting cellular regeneration and the reproduction of healthy cells instead of the reproduction of unhealthy cells, cells reproduce themselves according to what they are like. So if you start the process of energization and detoxification, alkalization, and hydration through the raw food diet, you're going to start regenerating those damaged cells, and you're going to start releasing the inflammation, which blocks the blood flow in your arteries. So can you turn this around? Yes, very easily. It's called a raw food diet with an emphasis on fresh fruits and vegetables as the predominant part of your diet.
Right. And what do you think about, like, eggs and stuff like that? You don't agree with that?
Eggs are pretty much like liquid meat. They're not, you know, the worst thing, but they're not the best. Not for arteries. The best thing for arteries is like oranges and apples and grapes and pomegranates and kiwi fruit. Those types of foods energize cells and keep the blood flow moving through those veins, and it keeps the artery walls nice and hydrated and pliable. As soon as those walls start to harden up, cholesterol builds up on the inside, inflammation, and those artery walls get smaller and smaller and smaller, and your heart has to work harder and harder, and then your vision goes, your hearing goes, your brain function goes, your sexual reproductive organs go, circulation goes to the hands and feet, cold hands and feet, thyroid metabolism slows down, and the body protects itself in the brain and the heart and the lungs and the liver. So it'll be, the first thing will be circulation, hair, teeth, eyes, things that are less important than your actual vital organs. But pretty soon those will start to shut down too. So you really want to come alive with raw food, stress-free lifestyle, moderate exercise, and a positive outlook, a real spiritual, positive outlook on more of an eternal way, instead of getting all bent out of shape about every little thing in your life that doesn't go exactly the way you think it should. And try to understand that sometimes these things come along to actually move you in the right direction for your evolution of your soul. Instead of the small picture, you begin to start to look at the big picture, and that helps to eliminate a lot of stress, which is a big contributing factor in cases like this, because we tend to lean more on those heavier stimulating foods during stress, you know. So there's a lot of things that are going on as far as beneficial when we begin to eat fruits and vegetables. We begin to absorb nutrients that helps us to get off of the cigarettes and the alcohol. And whenever we're eating meat, we're always going to have a tendency to want to go over towards the alcohol. You'll find that with people who were raw vegan before, and then they went back to meat, and then slowly in comes the mead or the beer or the alcohol. Alcohol is the antidote to meat. It helps to thin the blood out and try to alkalinize some of the acidity that comes from the meat, but it's only a temporary fix, and the downward spiral continues. You want to be on the upward spiral, and that's always going to be fruit as your predominant best food source for human beings. We are frugivores, regardless of what anyone tries to tell you. It's so obvious. You got to just live the lifestyle for a while, and it becomes experiential. But then we use the herbs and the vegetables to balance us out in this world, and we don't use food as a crutch or a drug or a social outlet. Tell your friends, hey, let's go out for a walk. I don't want to go out for food, because that's what everyone does. Let's go out for food. Let's go out for food. No one's even hungry. They just want to eat. And so the restaurant food is basically going to plug you up and put you out of business. So stay at home and eat your fruit and drink your green juice and make your salads and learn how to make smoothies, and try not to alter your food with heat. I know that it's cold and we all live in unnatural environments. We're tropical species, so there's a lot going on. There's no room for judgment. But really, you want to get out. The most important things is to eliminate the stress, practice relaxation techniques, eliminate the starchy carbohydrates, which are very hard and very clogging to the body, gluten in the grains. The dairy products are a huge offender, and as well as the meat. So the animal products have a tendency to not be conducive with the human cell structure. Humans thrive on the electricity that comes from the fresh living foods, like the fruit trees and the herbs that grow above the ground. And when we begin to harm our fellow creatures and use them for food, unless it's an emergency situation, you're really going against the law of the heart, which is to love your brothers as yourself. And when we go to the grocery store and all the meat is packaged up really nice, you know, it's a nice little thing. If you're starving and your family's starving, it's one thing to eat meat. But to make it a habit, it is the lust of the flesh. And there's no way that you can transgress the law when you eat your brother and not have to pay for the transgression of that law. So it's not right or wrong, it's just that, are you willing to pay the consequences of those choices? Your destiny will be according to the choices that you make. And if you eat those animal foods because they're stimulating in the short term, you're going to find that as you get older, it's easier when you're young. You can have your meat and stuff like that, but it will get caught up with you. And around this age here, like you said, in your 40s, you begin to start to notice the occlusions taking place from the excessive consumption of animal flesh and animal products. So, again, I've said the same thing over and over again. It's always the same answer, because the people are hurt and they're unwell because of what they're putting into their mouth. And if they put into their mouth the natural foods that God and Mother Nature conspired to give health, life, longevity, energy, shiny skin, healthy hair, strong teeth, clear eyes, and a radiant countenance, and a divine connection to nature and God, that would be the fresh living foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, sprouts. But basically, your diet should be 80-90% fresh fruits and vegetables if you want to have that real radiant health that was intended for all of us when this planet was created. And so by following those laws of the raw living foods, fruits, vegetables, we can pretty much eliminate all of our health issues easily and without effort, and joyfully, and enjoying it. I had the Asian pears today that were so good that it was a miracle. It was miraculous. And the Fuji persimmons are in. Apples, celery, all the good foods. Okay, so make sure you're juicing every day, Pete, and just eat as much raw as you can, and don't stop. Do you have my DVDs?
I just bought the one Lives of Pound a Day Safely. I just bought that today because I just couldn't afford the package. But if I see results from it and I feel better and my libido comes back and all that, I'll definitely be
Okay, cool. Well, here you go. The pound a day is the best one for you. There's some other really good ones that would work for you too, but a pound a day will work for you because it works for everybody that does it. The program, Lose a Pound a Day the Healthy Way, is one of my DVDs. There's a link down below for that. And that's going to help you to lose weight and to clear the blockages. So follow that program as closely as you can with the low, very low fat, high fruit and vegetable diet. And you'll be able to create a lot of benefits, and you will see some differences if you're getting some nice moderate exercise, getting to bed on time, and eliminating those foods that we just discussed that are clogging up the circulation. You may want to use ginger to enhance circulation. It's one of the best. And the juicing, if you stick with it slowly but surely, will start to dissolve the mucus and your circulation will improve, and that will improve all of these issues that you're dealing with.
Right. And I use ginger, and I actually put ginger in your green juice recipe. So I heard that before. Just put a little chunk of ginger in there, just cause, and I do always. So.
Okay, well, never be afraid to use even more, because I love a big old hub of ginger in my juice, because that just opens up everything, gets the circulation going, but it's non-stimulative. It is a bit of a.
I can't have any stimulants because of just my meds and stuff that I'm on now. Hopefully, I can make it so I don't take any meds. That would be the ultimate goal, but we'll see what happens.
If you go on a 95% raw food diet with some steamed vegetables and stuff, you can be off all your meds easily within a year or two. But you got to get serious about this. It has to mean something to you, and you have to really be able to resonate with what I'm saying here. And you have to want to love yourself. Heart attacks and that type of thing are always due to a lack of love, either for yourself or for life. It's just a lack of love in your heart, So you dig?
Yeah, I can relate to that for sure.
So open up your heart to life, and service. Try to find somebody to help every day, help yourself, help your son. Help yourself. If that's all you can do is help yourself by taking a walk. Help yourself by listening to your favorite music, putting your feet up, having a nice cup of tea, listening to some good music. Relax, relax, relax. In these cases, in order to really improve your circulation, you've got to learn to relax, because the welfare states or emotions creating the adrenaline and the fear pumping through is always constricting. And right now you want to really relax and allow those blood vessels to open up. And then you'll see, as soon as you relax and get rid of some of the tension and stress, I bet you you'll be able to pick right back up pretty soon on this little issue here you're having with the ED.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good. That sounds promising. And do you think that the diet helps with your testosterone levels and stuff like that?
Well, right now what I'd focus on is clearing out the debris. And you should really focus on that for about 6 months, clearing out the blockages. And then later on, you can learn how to use soaked sunflower seeds. About a serving is about a quarter cup of soaked sunflower seeds on your salad or in a salad dressing. Pine nuts are extremely beneficial for testicular function. Avocado is very good. An avocado on your salad, but right now you're going to want to be in the low-fat phase, because if you take this seriously and you get rid of the obstructions, your blood flow will return, and then you can begin to add in some of the nuts and seeds, like pumpkin seeds, very good. The royal jelly and the bee pollen from honey products, and the pine nuts are very good, and that'll be later on down the road. Okay, so don't try to get into a hurry and stimulate the production of testosterone right now until you have done some work on your circulation. That's going to be clean, high water fruits and vegetables and low fat. Did you want
lots of oranges, kiwi, what was that one?
Lots of oranges, lots of fruit, whatever fruit you can find. Apples are great for your blood vessels and your veins. And apple juice. And the oranges also help to dissolve blockages but due to the nature of the fruit acids. Grapes, when they come out in season, watermelons are going to be good. Any and all these fruits, Asian pears, regular pears, carrot juice is good, celery juice, cucumber juice, all the greens. You cannot drink too many greens when you have heart problems.
Yeah, I love all that stuff too, so it's not a problem to drinking because I like it already. So.
Just be creative, Pete, especially during the winter. Be creative. When spring and summer comes, it gets a lot easier, but right now, just keep educating on fresh fruits and vegetables. And the more simple that you eat, the better off you are. When you eat the mono meals of fruit, 8 or 10 oranges in a sitting, that's a nice, healthy, cleansing, energizing meal. There's mangoes coming into season pretty soon. Pomegranates are epic for your situation. Lots of green juice, just loading up on the fruits and veg.
Okay.
It's pretty easy.
Your call. I really do. I'm really surprised that you did. I thought I'd have 77 million viewers or whatever. I wouldn't even hear from you, but a phone call is pretty special.
Well, no problem, Pete. It's my pleasure. It was just a good opportunity for me to make a great video and address this issue. There's a lot of this. People are clogged up and they need a lot of help. And there's one way, and it's real simple. And it's the same thing I've said over and over and over and over and over again, and that is fresh fruits, vegetables, and love. And if you focus on those three things, Pete, all these issues will turn around and you'll be living a completely different life in a couple years, and you'll be glad all this happened, because what it does is it catapults you into another direction, to waking up to some of these things that none of us know about until we absolutely have to find these answers, or that we're going to leave the planet.
Right. And I want to warn, the 55 million men or whatever they say, or 75 million men in this country that have that problem, that they should be taking Viagra. They need to check it out better, and they need to change their diet, and you're the guy to do it, And that's my contribution to society, and to mankind is for you to make a video and tell them, hey, this is a real deal, and it happens to most men over 40 that eat crap, and make a video and make a point of it, you know what I mean? Because it's going to save a lot of guys, marriages and their love life and their health and their life,
Yeah, that's interesting you say that. I'm coming up on 40 here pretty soon, and it doesn't look like I'm going to have that problem for quite some time to come.
That's good. Your girlfriend probably likes that.
I bet you she does. Okay, Pete. Thank you, my brother. Take care of yourself.
All right, I look forward to seeing the video when it comes up.
I'll put it up tonight.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Peace be with you, Pete. Let me know how things go. Send me another letter in a couple months or so, okay?
I will.
All right. Bye now.
Thanks, Dan.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. This is Dan the Man. I was mentioning my DVDs because on those DVDs, those are the recipes that you can use to learn to eat this way. That makes it fun, tasty, delicious, healthy, balanced meals on the DVDs that are cleansing, detoxifying. There's a whole variety of different DVDs and recipes, and there's always a link down below for that, and that'll help you get the practical, hands-on training from those DVDs put together in a real, linear way, so that you can get the information, you can watch the videos over and over again, and go to your favorite recipe and get the recipe written down, or get the instruction and the information and the inspiration, so you can go into the kitchen, make the juice, drink it, and go outside and play. Release your stress, do your yoga, practice meditation, and start cultivating your destiny, creating your destiny by beginning to align yourself with things that are beneficial instead of harmful. So many things that we have been sold in this society are harmful. And now we want to get back to doing things that are beneficial, because I'll tell you, myself personally, what I've decided is that I would much rather have peace and tranquility than excitement and stimulation. And a lot of times when we're younger, the excitement and the stimulation is sold to us by our society. But as we get more mature, we realize there's nothing like a nice day with your feet kicked up, watching a DVD of Dr. Hawkins, you know, drinking some tea or just relaxing, and all that stress can just leave you and you can live a calm, stress-free, peaceful life. And the peace and the tranquility begins to have more and more significance as we expand spiritually. And these foods that we eat here help us expand energetically. And then we begin to mature in different ways. You know what I mean? More spiritual, and our heart can open up. And then we can be more compassionate towards other people. We may not understand them, we may not agree with them, but we don't have to argue and fight and do that to ourselves. Because when we have conflict with ourselves, we really create a lot of tension and stress. Conflict with others, conflict with life. And that creates a lot of friction and wears out the system and creates an entropy. So we want to be effortless beings, allowing everyone to be themselves, allowing us to be ourselves, fully human, and allow for all those human aspects. Sometimes you're goofy, sometimes you're serious, sometimes you're tired, sometimes you're manic and overly energized. I mean, you have to allow all the parts of your being to be what they are and accept your humanness completely, and really just learn to laugh at yourself and laugh at others, but not in a negative way, but just learn to laugh at the human comedy, the drama, and don't take any of this so seriously. It's just another great day on planet Earth to evolve, to grow spiritually, to serve, to be a part of the eternal aspect of life. So those things are going to help you a lot to relax, to find peace, to eliminate conflict, tension, stress, and entropy in your physical organism. Okay? So be the effortless being. Eat the living fresh foods. Eliminate stress. Practice relaxation. Become a master. See how lazy you can get this next weekend. You know? See how deeply you can learn to relax. I'm getting very good at it. Obviously, look at this is my job. Okay, so no heart attacks here. Fresh food. No stress. DTM. Love ya. Hope this video helped. Anyways, I'll let you go now. Please subscribe to these videos if you haven't already, and give me a thumbs up. Peace. Oof.